Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Raja from Iitm Madras. I'm an MS scholar in the Department of Electrical Engineering at Iitm Madras. So, in this video, I'm going to cover a very important material for IIT MBS qualifier exam. So, as you might be aware that the next qualifier exam for the September term is going to happen on 29th October. So, this video will be helpful for both IIT MBS data science qualifier as well as IIT MBS electronic system. Because in this video, I'm going to cover a lot of important question for the mathematics one.
Hello everyone. Welcome back. I'm back with the Mathematics 1 previous year question paper of IIT MBS Data Science. So you can see here it is SAM 1 Maths 1 paper which is of previous year. First thing before starting the video, I want to tell you that I am using this question paper just to tell you the related concept and just to revise and to prepare you for the qualifier. And there's no other purpose other than this. So this is all that, and this is the same one maths paper. So you can see here total marks here it is written as 50. So the marks can be 40, 50, sometimes it's 30 as well. So marks can be anything, but the later on they will convert to the out of 100 only. So if you secure a 40 out of 50, so it will be converted to the 100%. Then it will be 80, 80 out of 100. So it will be considered that like this. And if you do not secure around 40, then you will not be considered as qualified. So you have to take care of all these things. And if you see the number of question here, it is 12. So from that you can guess that the weightage of each question is not equal. So these things matters a lot. So even if you get one or two questions wrong, then your marks can drastically decrease. So you have to take care of each and every question, and the question can be of different type: MCQ, MSQ, NAT. So you have to given the paper, a competitive paper like JE Advanced, JE Mains, and GATE previously, then you might be know about this. But if you are giving for first time, then you should be aware of these things. Now, if you see the instruction, there are some instruction given here. So there are some function which are there are some question which are function with discrete value domain, tells us date, months, year. For simplicity, we treat them as a continuous. So it is obvious. It is a valid assumption. So for NAT type question, you have to enter only one right answer. It may be possible that you are getting multiple answer for that question, but you have to write only one right answer. So you have to take care. And there is some notation. So this is for real number and in rational integer and the natural number. And the one thing which is explicitly mentioned here is the natural numbers also include zero, because the definition of natural number can vary. In some text, it is from 1 to infinity like this, and in some case, it can be include 0 as well. So, in the lecture, it was mentioned that the natural number set includes 0, so you have to take care of this. So now let's see the question. So here is our first question. So Cartesian product A cross A has total 9 elements, and the two of elements are given here 2 0 0 8, and you have to find the sum of all elements in the set. So first you have to find the how many elements are in the given set A. So how can you find the number of elements in a given set? So here it is written as Cartesian product has a 9 element. So from that you can derive the result that it will be have 3 elements, but you do not know what are the 3 elements. You have to find what are the 3 elements, but you can clearly state that it has 3 elements because the Cartesian product is like this A cross A, and it is also mentioned the Cartesian product is within with the same set. So if it has 3 elements, then and if it also 3 elements because both are same, then the total number of elements will be 9. So, like the Cartesian rule is like this only. If A set A has m elements and B set has n elements, then total number of elements in the Cartesian product will be m cross m into n, which mn. So, if you take the example like this, 1, 2, 3. Cartesian product with 3, 4, 6. So it will be like 1 with 3, 1 with 4, 1 with 6, 2 with 3, 2 with 4, 2 with 6, 3 with 3, 3 with 4, 3 with 6. So you can see there are total 9 elements since it has 3 elements and it has 3 elements. So this is about the Cartesian product. So if you are not familiar, you can uh, see the results. So I am telling that A will be have 3 elements, right? And here it is written that 2 elements are 2, 0 and 0, 8. So from that we can guess that the elements are the 2, 0 and 8. Since it is written that the Cartesian product uh, has this element, then it will be definitely show that the given element, given set A must have this element. It may be possible the order will be not be same, but here we just have to find the sum of the elements in the set A. So here we can clearly see that 2 plus 8 equals 10. So even if you try to calculate the Cartesian product, so you will see it will 2 2 2 0 2 8 0 2 0 0 0 8 8 2 8 0 8 8 like this. So you can see it has 2 0 and 0 8 2 as well. So it is satisfied. So this is how you can solve this question and get the concept of the Cartesian product. So the answer is 10. Now see the next question. So it is of 4 marks. So if you get this wrong, you will lose the 4 marks. Now the 5 mark question, and the question is a long one. In a survey among the 250 students in a Nilgiri house of Iitm BS degree, the following data are found. 100 students have a Hotstar subscription, and 110 have the Netflix, 120 have Amazon Prime, and 30 students have both Hotstar and Netflix, and 30 students have both Hotstar and Amazon Prime, 40 have subscribed to both Netflix and Amazon. So this is the usual set question. So I will tell you a common formula through which you can find the result. Assuming that all students have at least one OTT subscription. So this assumption is very important because otherwise, like this, if you consider this as the whole set, this is the whole set, and you can consider this Hotstar, Netflix, and Amazon. So it is assuming that all students have at least one OTT subscription. It means all students at least live within these sets only. Otherwise, if we do not assume that the student can also live here, 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 so it will not satisfy our result. So we have to assume like this. Even if it's not mentioned, we have to assume. And then determine how many students have membership to all the three OTT. So it is clearly mentioned that we have to find this value. So you can solve the graphically as well as through the formula. Here I found the formula quite easy. So I am using directly the formula. So the formula is uh, n of A union B union C. A union B union C means all this value, this whole value. And since we are assuming that all students have at least one OTT subscription, so uh, here it is written at 250 students. So this value will be the 250. It will be 250. And n of A plus n of B plus n of C, and then n of A intersection B, n of B intersection C, n of A intersection C, plus n of A intersection B intersection C. So this is the formula. This is the very well known formula for the theory set, and you can use the graphical result as well. But the graphical result requires a lot of time and analysis. So I will suggest you to directly use this formula, and this question can be solved easily through this formula. So this is the 250, and if you see, this is 250, And a number of A here we are assuming is the hot star, so it is the 100 students. And B here we are assuming a Netflix, so 110. And C we are assuming Amazon Prime 120. And its intersection is also given. So A we are assuming Hotstar, B we are Netflix and Amazon. So Hotstar and Netflix means Hotstar and Netflix in intersection B one means minus 30 and then minus 30 again and then minus 40 plus here I am assuming it x. So if we see 100 plus 110 plus 120, so it will be 230 and 330. 330 minus 30 means 300, minus 30 means 270, and then 270 minus 40 means 230. And if we shift like this, it will be 20 only. So you can calculate by 1 that x will be 20, and the answer is also mentioned here 20. So like this, you can solve this question. This is very basic question, and but it is a 5 marks question, so you have to solve it very carefully. So now this is also a 5 marks question. Assume that a ball was thrown from point 04 from the x y plane. So I will come up with this 04 on the xy plane in the figure 1. The ball reaches a maximum height of 6 meters and it returns to a height of 4 meter after 2 seconds. H of t is given this. So this is the graph of h of t, which is 80 square plus bt plus c, and we can this guess easily there is a quadratic function and its graph will be parabola and it is parabola and it is a projection question, and it also mentioned it is a quadratic function that represents the height in meters of the ball after t seconds, and a b c are the integer except 0, so it means except 0, right? So ball from the from 04, 04 means this point, ball was found from here on the xy plane. The ball reaches a maximum height of 6 meter. So height is the maximum of 6 meter and returns to height of 4 meter after 2 seconds. So this is 4 meter. After 2 seconds in this direction, the ball reaches 4 meter. So let's see, find the value of A plus B plus C. So we have to find the value of A plus B plus C. So in this question you can get confused. So, but there's no need of getting confused. So, if we see that at 0, the value of h is also 0. So, if I put the value of t as a 0, I will get, so it will be 0 only and I will get c. So, h of 0 will be, and it is written as 0, 0, so c will be 0. So, here we can easily get the c value of c. And for a and b, so for A, and it is also written 04 also like. So if I put no, yeah, no, actually I am wrong here. So H 00 does not lie. Actually, 04 lies here. So if you see, the 04 lies in the graph. So there's a wrong assumption here. Here 04 lies in the graph. So if I put h of 0, it will be a0 square plus b0 plus c. So h of 0 is 4. So c will be 4 here. And again we can see that 2. So this point is 2, 4. So h of 2 will be 4. So we put h of 2, a2 square plus b2 plus c, we know 4. So it will be 4 only and this will be cancelled out. So it is 4a plus 2b equals 0. So we get this equation, and it is also written at so another point which we get here is this one. So this is nothing but t equal 1. So you have to assume or you have to find the graphically also that this point is a t equal 1 and this height is a 6 meter. So this is 1 6. So if I put the h of 1, it will be 6. So a 1 square will be 1 plus c equals 6. So a plus b and c is 4. So a plus b equal 2, and you can simply multiply it with 2. So 2a plus 2b equals 4, and the another equation is this one, and I can simply subtract it. So minus 2a equal 4. So a equal minus 2. And if I see then b, so b will be equal 2 minus a plus 2 plus 2 equals 4. So b equals, and if we calculate the sum, so 8 plus uh, 4 plus 4 minus 2, it will be 6. Answer is also 6. So this is the only the mathematical equation solving. One thing which you have to find is that this point, it is 1 6. So we know this is the height is the 6, but this coordinate uh, is t equal 1. So you have to find it, and you have to use this value, otherwise this value is not given. And you can if you know the mathematics of the projection mathematics projectile motion, you can easily guess this. Otherwise it is also quite obvious from the figure also. If you measure this descent and this descent, it will be equal, so it will be it equal 1 only. So this is a very good question, 5 marks question. And then if we see the another question, these are the 5 marks question. You have closely monitoring your bike's mileage. Yeah. So here the table showing two rows representing the amount paid for the fuel and the corresponding mileage in kilometers. So consider y as the amount paid, uh, y is the amount paid, and the x as the corresponding mileage in the kilometer. You have noted down the distance traveled each time when the fuel meter falls back to a fixed distance point, and the predicted that the equation of the best line fit is the y equal 5x minus 22. Right. So if you see this, so the best line fit here it is given as y equal 5x minus 22. Right. So I am discussing this question. This is the 5 marks question, and the question seems very complicated. I am also reading for the first time, so it seems quite complicated. But honestly, the question is not so complicated, and you can easily solve the question. So if you see, you've closely monitoring your bike mileage recently. So it is the data for the mileage, right? So for mileage, you need the amount paid and the kilometer. So it is nothing but I think kilometer per rupees or rupees per kilometer, like that. So here is a table showing two rows considering the amount paid for the fuel. It is the amount paid, and there's a corresponding mileage in kilometer. So distance in kilometer. So consider that the y is the amount paid, so it is the y, and the x is the corresponding value. This is x. So you have noted that the distance traveled each time with the fuel meter fall back to a fixed difference point in the predicted that the equation of the best line is the y equal 5x minus 22. So this is the equation which we have derived based on this data, and you have to find the value of the SSE with the respect of the best fit line. So by this methodology, uh, you calculate noted down a distance each time when the fuel meter falls back. You calculated the equation of the baseline width, which is y equal 5x minus 22, right? So it is the sum squared error you have to find. So it is quite simple. So like this, you can find. So this is the x. So just put the x value here. Like I am creating this table x 20, 15, 16, 25, and 40. And here is y. So you have to put the value of x in this equation. So 20 into 5 into 20 minus 22. So it will be 100 minus 22. So it will be, I think, 88. It will be 78. Yeah, yeah, it will be 78. Right. So 5 into 15 minus 22. It will be 75 minus 22. 53. So you are seeing, you can see that it is quite close with this value, and later on we just have to subtract and the square, and you can get that. So let's do it fast. 80 minus 22, so 58, I think. Yeah, 58, 525, 22, 125, 22, 103. And this is 514 minus 22, 70 minus 22. So what this will be? 30. So this will be 40. So if you calculate the error, so error will be the SSE means some square error, some square error, and it is quite obvious from the name itself. You have to square the error and then sum. So 80 minus 78. So you can do in any other because you have to square. So 50 minus 53 square, 60 minus 58 square, 100 minus 103 square. So you can see the value can be greater as well as the lower. And there is 48 minus 48. So there is no error. So it is 2 square, that is 4. This is 3 square, that is 9. This is 2 square, 4. 3 square, 9. And this is G. So it is 13. This is 13. And the answer is 26, which is this. So in this way you can solve this. So you will get the one question on the basis of the SSC, and it is quite clear. So there are some points like this, and you are plotting fitting a line. So and you are seeing the how close this line is. So it is a kind of regression. When you will study the machine learning concept later on the higher course, you will realize this is the nothing but the regression error, and you are trying to optimize the cost function. You will realize later on. Now let's move on to the next question. It is also 5 marks question, and there are two sets A, B, C, D, and P, Q, R, S. And consider following relation from the A to B. R1, R2, R3, R4. Some relations are given. So R2, R3, R4 are function, and you have to tell which statements are correct. So R2, R3, R4 are functions or not, and you have to find the injective and the bijective function. So for that you have to see uh, R2, right? A to S, B to S, C to P. So I'm talking about this question, 5 mark question, and here we have two sets A and B, A, B, C, D, and P, Q, R, S. There are two sets are given. These are the relation from A to B. So here some relations are given, and we have to identify the correct option. So this kind of question, these are the statement-based question, and these are quite confusing many times. So for that, we have to draw this kind of mapping. So if we can consider this A and B, so A, B, C, D, E, Q, R, and S. And if we see the R2, so it is A of S, B of S, and the C to C, and D to. So rule is this is possible. Greater than is possible. But if you are getting something like this, it is not possible in a function. So if you see here, it is f of a is equal to s. F of b is also equal. This is possible. But if you see the other way around, if I say f of a, if you see the other way around here, f of a equal p, also f of a equal q. So this cannot be true, and this will violate the definition of function. So since here it is greater than, so it is possible. So R2 is valid. Similarly, if I see R4, so this AB, AB, CD, PQ, R, A to R, B to P, and C to Q, and D to S. So only one function, this is actually called domain, and this is also called codomain and the range. There is some difference, but I will not go into detail of this. So this is codomain and range, and so all the points in the domain are the map exactly to one element in the codomain or range. So it is something called a one-to-one function. So here also R4 is also valid. So here this one statement is true. So if you see the uh, yeah, so we see this from this function R3. Yeah, let me erase this R3. So this is R A and A B C and P Q R3 A to P and B to R and the B to S, and this is the D to Q. So here this is symbol is this is less than is coming. So it is clearly not a valid function because f of b is mapping to two values r and s, so which is not possible. So our R3 is not valid. So this option is incorrect. And R2 is an injective function. Actually, I have erased that. So actually, R2 means injective function just means the one to map one mapping. One value should map to only one value in the codomain. So if you see that R2 for f of E is also S, f of B is also S. In this case, it is not injective. Injective means injective and one to one are same. One to one are same thing. And if you see the uh, surjective, yeah, to see the subjective, so it is on to. I will come onto this, and both are true. This is bijective, one to one and on. So we generally check for one to one from this condition. F of x one is not equal to f of x2 means x1 is not equal to. So the function values are not same. So the given values of the domain values are should also be not the same. But here the function values are same. So if the f of is a and b are equal, then it will be valid. Otherwise, it is not valid, and so R2 is not an injective function. So this is wrong. R4 is a bijective function. So for bijective, we can see that it is mapping only one value in the domain is mapping to only one value in the codomain. So this clearly is a injective function. For the surjectivity onto, we just have to see that the codomain is equal to range or not. So here the codomain is this B set. B set because F is mapping from A to B. So our codomain is PQRS, and the range is the value of the value which is the function is taking. So you can see the all the values which are in the B, the function is taking R, P, Q, S. So all values are in the set B. So codomain is equal to range. So this is an onto also. So the onto and one. So it is a bijective function, and this statement is. So if you are still confused, you can refer extra material or video lecture. You will be clear about it.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow